Delco right now. I'd say there's two that can really fit into this as Marple. I think Marple's won, I think, 6 in a row at this point, but their big win was the win over Haven. That was on Wednesday. Lucien with the homer and extras. As someone who played at Strathaven, I can verify this. Homers to right field there are not very common. And I think within the last few years,
I don't think I've ever seen one.
I think in person, I've only seen one. It was Cole Peichel, actually. He was PO now. Yeah, actually.
Is he a lefty or is he
he's a lefty. And it was in a playoff game. His first playoff at bat.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, the ball that Lucien hit, it didn't matter if they moved the fence or not. Like, he was jogging halfway to first. But that was an awesome game. It was 2-2 going into the ninth. Lucien, I think that was the first pitch, and he sent it to right. And they added 2 more runs in the inning as well. But that felt like we're officially back win.
Yeah.
Like, they'd won a couple games, but like going on the road to beat that team who beat you on your home field to start the season, to go out there, that was like we're ready to go kind of.
Yeah, I think we're really starting to see, especially like this week. I think we finally we're really seeing that Marple team that we're seeing what we were so excited about over the winter. That talent's really starting to show. I think the pitching is really settled into just maybe not just set roles, but they've just settled into they're really keeping the runs down. And the offense is just rolling now.
Well, that was the thing, because the offense is one thing, but Jack Mahalik, the first time Haven and Marple played, let up 4 in the first. He let up 2 over, I think it was either 6 or 7 innings in this game. And as we said in the last show, once you get to playoffs, and the offense helps, but it can only get you so far, and they need him pitching like that in order for a deep run. But I think the biggest thing for the team right now is Jason Bennett being back as the DH.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
There's a very strong argument. I'll listen to arguments for other teams, but in terms of a top 4, having Bennett Cox, Lucien, Jason Bennett, and Paul DeFrucio, it doesn't get much better than that in terms of the top of the order, and they've been playing like it as well. This week really showed that. As I believe a 3-0 week. They beat Ridley, Haven, and Springfield, and they're another team where they probably won't sneak into that top 4. They could. They probably won't into the top 4 to get a bye, but they're probably going to host a game.
Yeah, that them and I guess we'll get into it, but Pencrest, we're probably looking at that 5-6. Because it's right now Chichester's undefeated. They're not going to lose. So they'll be. I think they're the one. Unionville's 10-1.
Yeah.
Haven's.
So we've had some changes. We'll get to in a little
really?
bit. Haven's
okay.
number 2 right
Never
now.
Mind.
Spoiler alert.
All right,
we will get to that.
Okay, we'll move on.
But yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that was the last thing. Marple looks good.
Yeah.
They got a couple big games coming up this week, and so one of those games will be against Pencrest. But Pencrest we'll talk about real quick. Those boys got red hot, and then all of a sudden their best 2 players got hurt. Lucien is most likely out for the year. Bennett Cox is probably out. He said he might be able to for the playoffs, but it's 50-50. But just to see the life taken out of that team, nobody's going to be able to keep their spirits up losing 2 guys like that. It sucks.
Yeah, that's just brutal. And that was, we were saying, it's they're starting to look like the team we thought they were going to be. And as soon as you get there, to have that happen, especially on a team like that where all these guys are most of their contributors are seniors, it's just brutal.
Yeah, it's just I can't in a way I unfortunately can relate to those guys since I broke my ankle the day before our World Series, but I feel like there's something different about it. High school, those guys all grew up together, and it sucks that they're not getting a fully loaded squad. Now, with that being said, there's still a lot of talent on this team. I still believe this team, if they're starting, Aiden Kern's been outstanding.
Yeah,
he's I still think they can, make some noise in the playoffs. It's just without those 2 guys at the top of the order, it's tough to see a really deep run. I hope I'm wrong. It's nice they got Jason Bennett back. I just wish those 3 got more time together. But yeah, this game was a prime example of why night games at Marple should happen more often, why essentially playoff there. I think that student section should go up in that hill where we were behind the plate on Monday night. We actually were considering doing a live show because we thought it would be cool to kind of get all the guys to jump in after their games were done. But then we realized it wouldn't be until 9 or 10. So we're all right, maybe we'll debut that another time. This game was under the lights. Very thrilling game. It was a 7-4 Marple Newtown win. Marple went up 2-0 on RBI. I believe it was a double from Aiden Pearson, a single from Aiden Hennelly. Phoenixville tied it up, 2-run homer. But the moment of this game, Paul DeFrucio hit a 3-run bomb say what you want about the Marple fence. I don't care. That was a bomb on any field. It was gone. He pimped pardon my language, he pimped the shit out of it. Bat toss in the air and everything. That put him up 5-2. Got a little dicey in the 6th inning, but Aiden Pearson came in to get out of the jam there. Great start from Aiden Curran, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he might have appeared in that Oxford game last year, but like first playoff start for the sophomore, very good. I think 5 or so innings, 2 earned runs. And, we got to talk first and foremost here about Lucien Berger, who is playing through, I don't know if I believe it's either a torn rotator cuff or labrum in his shoulder. But I talked to my guy, Gabe Encarnacion, assistant coach from Marple, who said the doctor told him, you need surgery. It can't get worse. If you can play, then you're allowed to play.
Yeah, I think that was kind of what we had theorized when we first, because I remember I was checking the box score and you see L. Berger center field.
Is there a third one we don't know about?
Are we missing
Harry Berger?
I texted you. I'm like, unless there's another L. Berger that would be hitting second, like I think Lucian's playing right now.
I think I just texted you back, and again, pardon my French. I think I just texted you back. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I saw him at the Ringers facility like a week ago, literally last Wednesday, and he just looked like so dejected. Like, it sucks, and we were kind of bonding because I was telling him about how when I broke my ankle, I had to miss our Club World Series. I'm like, I know how it feels, dude. It sucks. Like, all you can do is just like try and be a good teammate. If you look like you're sad and moping around, it brings everyone else down. Just like try and be as I know it sucks, but on the outside, you got to put on a good face. And he said, "No, screw that. I'm going to play. I'm going to go out there, hit 2 balls like 100 miles an hour." I don't know if it's his. I have to assume it's not his throwing arm, because if that was the case, you can't put him in center field. I have to imagine he probably.
Yeah, I would assume it's the other one,
and that's what I would think. I don't know for a fact, but either way, if you didn't know he was hurt from watching him, you wouldn't be able to tell. But how cool of a run would it be? If they go on a deep run with their best player playing through a brutal injury, and that's just got to bring like the rest of the team up around him.
Yeah, I think like just having him being, you could kind of see it when we went against our Pencrest game when they were missing Bennett and Lucien the whole time, and you could just you'd see it. It was, you just felt like from that team that they were really missing those guys. So to get him back in there, and I guess it is kind of, I think labrums are like that, where like once you're at a point where you need surgery, like you can't make it any worse.
Yeah. We had a guy my senior year, Casey Rozier, who he broke his hand when we were playing Springfield, and he had the surgery scheduled for, I think the closest he could get was like a week and a half, and he had like a broken hand, and they basically told him like, hey, like you're already getting surgery. He played like 2 or 3 more games. I honestly don't really remember how he did, but just like the fact that he was out there, I'm like, I know how much pain you're in. Like, you're a beast. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like you're a senior. You're obviously, it's a very senior heavy team, so it's guys you've grown up playing with forever, and you don't want to go out like this. And I have so much respect for him for gutting it out. So what I want to see